How would you feel if OSHA knocked on the door right now? Well, that's the question I started this series out with. We're in the middle of a series talking about the three-part framework of an OSHA audit. We talked about the opening conference, we talked about the walk around, and today we're going to be talking about the closing conference. This is the third and final part of the OSHA audit when the inspector's on site, and you don't want to miss it. Let's jump in. Okay, so if you've watched the videos that I've been putting out about OSHA audits, please take advantage of my free OSHA audit workshop. It is the best way to get information about what to do and how to prepare your team for an unexpected OSHA audit. There's a link in the description below. Check that out. It's a free online workshop. Pass it along, share it with your maintenance manager, share it with your plant manager. This is a great way to prepare your team. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the closing conference. So the closing conference is after the walk around. The inspector has got his list of notes, he's taken pictures, he might have even interviewed employees, so he's got information about what pertains to the reason that he came in. Because remember, he came in to do the inspection for some reason. Oftentimes it's an employee complaint, sometimes it's an accident, could be other things, but those are usually the main reasons he's coming in to check you out. So during the closing conference, that's when he's going to tell you what he found, right? And he's not just going to say, well, we found this one thing. He's usually going to have a list of items that he found. Now, this list of items doesn't mean these are all citations and you're going to get fined for each one of these. That's not the way it works. But you do want to take notes during this final meeting. So you're going to have it done in the conference room or in an office, probably in the same location you had the opening conference. And the most important part of this is you want your whole team to be present, because you want to have people there that can remember what was said and what was focused on. You want to have somebody taking notes. Oftentimes that was me as a safety manager. I was taking notes so I could write down what was being talked about. Some of these things are going to be fixed right away. Some of them might take a little while. Some of them you might say, you know what, I don't think that's a problem at all. I'm going to push back on that. And that's your right. You can actually push back on some of these things and say, hey, wait a minute, that's not legit. But you're not going to solve anything. You're not going to settle anything in this closing conference. This is simply the time when you're going to find out where the focus is. So just to kind of give you a big overview, that OSHA compliance officer, he came to your facility because of a reason, right? He came in there. The example I've been using is because of a forklift complaint. He came in there because of a forklift complaint. Well, he saw your training records. He looked at your forklift. He looked at your inspection records. He interviewed employees. He's going to gauge what's the severity, what's going on, what's the training look like, and then he's going to go away and he's going to talk to his supervisor and he's going to figure out what kind of actions need to be taken, okay? During the closing conference, he's going to explain what he's seeing and you want to write it down. Your goal is when he leaves, when that door closes behind him and his driver's his license is down the road and you can't see it anymore, right? His license plate, that's what I was trying to think of. When it's down the road and you can't see him anymore, you want to get to work fixing any possible violations immediately. You don't wait for him to send you the list. You get started right away. That's one of the biggest problems that happens when people have an OSHA audit is they sit around and they twiddle their thumbs and they wait for the actual formal letter to come in the mail from OSHA. Don't do that. If he gives you a list of a dozen different things, jump on those things and fix them. Make them better. Take pictures of the improvements. If you need to schedule a contractor, make scheduled arrangements and document it. So all these things are good ways that you can prepare so that when that letter comes in, boom, we've already fixed this stuff. We fixed it a long time ago. This is how we did it. So until we talk again, do everything you can to keep the people you work with safe, because no one should get hurt at work.